Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our beloved lecturer, Madam Aisha. Today we are going to discuss about activity-based management. We hope at the end of this video you guys be able to understand the concept of this chapter. Alright, let's go. But before we going through all the parts in this chapter, let me introduce my group members. First we have Aiman Shafiq bin Muhammad Faisal, and the second one we have Aimi Liana binti Ahmad Adam, and me myself Nur Balkis binti Ahmad Shukri. Maybe you can prepare some snacks while you enjoy our video. As you guys can see, here's are the subtopics that we're going to learn through this activity-based management. So, what is activity-based management? ABM. ABM is the process of using information from activity-based costing to analyze activities, cost drivers and performance so that customer value and profitability are improved. ABM also analyzing the company profitability by looking at each aspect of its business to determine their strengths and weaknesses. Next, let me tell you guys a little bit history of ABM. During 1980s, many businesses started to introduce activity-based costing system. The aim was to achieve more accurate calculations of product costs. However, it soon became apparent that the information produced for activity-based costing had much wider use than just calculating the cost per unit of a product. ABM can be defined as the entire set of actions that can be taken on a better informed basis using ABC information. The aim is also to achieve the same level of output, but with a lower cost. After we know the definitions of the ABM, let me tell you guys the objectives of ABM. Basically, there are three objectives of ABM. The first one is to identify and improve the activities that add value. Second one is to identify the activities that don't add value and then reduce or eliminate them. And the last one is to redesign processes to improve efficiency and profitability. Let's have a look on the relationship of ABC and ABM. But before I start, let me explain to you guys what is activity-based costing. So basically, activity-based costing is a methodology to measure cost performance activities, resources, and cost objects. While for the activity-based management is a management activity to improve value received by customers and profit achieved by providing values. In a simple term, ABC used to answer on what the things cost, while for the ABM, it is more concerned on the factors causes the cost to occur. As you guys can see, there are three components under activity-based management model. The first one is a cost assignment view. It is where the management will analyze the resources involved in the process of production, activity involved in the process to determine the cost object, and then evaluate the performance measure. And the second one is the process view. It is where the management will analyze the cost drivers of the product and prepare a list of cost drivers. Under process view also, it helps to identify the opportunities and ways to improve the customer values. Therefore, all the information gathered from the ABC in the cost assignment view and process view will guide the ABM in the continuous improvement process. This includes activity analysis, cost drivers analysis, and performance analysis. Okay, the first one is the activity analysis. It is all about finding out the activities of the organizations and its center that ought to be utilized in the activity-based costing. Based on the costs and the benefits of the alternative, the activities are divided into number of activity center. Further, it ascertains the value-added and non-value-added activities. Let me explain more on the terms of the value-added activities and non-value-added activities. Value-added activities is the activities which are very essential for the completion of the process, while for the non-value-added activities is those activities which are not having any worth for either external or internal customer. Indeed, These non-value-added activities do not enhance the quality of the product, rather than they have a negative impact on the costs and prices of the product or services as they create waste, delay, and increase the overall value. And the second one is the cost drivers analysis. The purpose of managing the activity cost, the factors that result in the activity takes place are to be identified. And the last one is the performance analysis. It involves discovering a proper measure to analyze the performance of the activity center. As overall, from the activity-based management model, ABM aims to manage the organization with this analysis and also ascertains what direct the firm's activities and how they can improve. As overall, from the activity-based management model, ABM aims to manage the organizations with this analysis and also ascertains what directs the firm's activities and how they can be improved. Do you guys know that there are some similarities between ABC and ABM? One of the similarities is both ABC and ABM help in improving the performance of the business, firm, or organization. For example, in ABM, it helps the company to identify and reduce or eliminate non-added value activities. From there, the company are able to prevent them from creating any waste. And the second one is both ABC and ABM is one of the management tools that help in managing their business activities. As we all know, ABC and ABM helps the performance of the business in an organization. However, ABC and ABM has a differ in their functions. First, in terms of the applications, for the ABC, the management gains through understanding of its business processes and cost behavior during the ABC analysis process, while for the ABM, the management applies the insight gained during ABC fact gathering and analysis to improve their decision making at both operating and strategic levels. In terms of the role, ABC focuses on cost and performance of activity, resources, and consumption, while for the ABM, they are more concerned on the management of activities as a method for improving the value obtained by the customer and the profit got by giving the value. In terms of the measurement, for ABC, they recognize a causal relationship of cost drivers to the activities, while ABM helps in determining the contributions of each person, for example, in measuring costs, quality, and time. ABM also support the balanced scorecard, and it is considered to be a basis for business process redesign.
Next, we move to steps and types of ABM. So there are 3 steps of activity-based management or ABM. Firstly, identify activities required to complete products. Since companies are typically involved in hundreds of activities on a daily basis, the organization needs to finding and listing only significant business activity to be identified. For example, activity that spend most of the time in producing a product or activity that have the most impact on finance. In addition, the organization need to calculate the cost of each activity using activity-based costing or ABC by appropriating all the indirect and direct costs related to the activity. Also, it is necessary to apportion all the costs to each activity using cost driver information. Secondly, determine whether activities are value-added or non-value-added. Activities that increase the product's quality and performance are called value-added activities, while non-value-added activities are the activities that not give any benefits to the products or services and customers. Example of the value-added activity is packaging activity for companies such as Coca-Cola, and example of the non-value-added activity including storing parts in a warehouse. And lastly, to continuously improve the value-added activities. Based on the activities that have been identified from the previous step, the organization need to continuously improve the value-added activities, while activities that are non-value-added should be minimized or eliminated. We proceed to the types of ABM. So there are two types of ABM, which are Operational Activity-Based Management and Strategic Activity-Based Management. Operational Activity-Based Management. Operational ABM is about doing things right. So, as we know, ABM using the information from ABC. So, the organization use ABC information to improve the company efficiency. By using the information from ABC, activities which add value to a product are identified and improved, while activities that do not add value to the product can be reduced to cut costs without reducing product value. Example of operational ABM. So we can take a look from the procedures to obtain a new debit card from Maybank Berhad. So before the Maybank Berhad applying ABM, the procedure to obtain a new debit card will be, firstly, the customer need to pick a queue number and then waiting for their turn, and after that the customer will receive new debit card. But after applying ABM, the procedures will be insert all debit card into the machines, and then the customer will receive the new debit card. So it shows after the Maybank Berhad applying ABM, the activities or procedures will be improved, while the activities or procedures that are necessary will be eliminated. The second type of ABM is Strategic Activity-Based Management. So strategic ABM is about doing the right things. By using the ABC information, the company can decide which products to develop and which activities to use. By using ABC information also, it will be able to the organization to identify which products or customers are the most profitable and for which sales volume should be developed. So strategic ABM is used for strategic decision making when it comes to advertising through a certain channel, launching a new product, or targeting a certain group of customers. Next, the advantages and disadvantages of ABM. There are three advantages of ABM. Firstly, pricing decision. By using the information from activity-based costing, the company will get a more accurate product cost. So, it will lead to the more accurate product pricing to the customers. Secondly, product mix decision. ABM helps company or management to identify the product that will bring high profitability to the company. So, it will lead to the company to market the higher profitability product and shift the product mix away from less profitable products. Meaning that ABM will help the company or management to focus only on the product that will bring high profitability to the company. And lastly is cost-cutting decisions. ABM allows manager to identify the cost as either value-added or non-value-added. So it helps the company in cost-cutting decision by reduce or eliminate the non-value-added costs.
Alright guys, from here I will take over. Activity-based costing is one of the best costing system that we know in helping companies in making decisions. Yet, there are many companies that have not implemented the ABC. The question here is why? So, what are the causes that some companies refuse to use the costing system? The reason is there is several disadvantages of ABC. First, high cost. If it is a manufacturer company, probably the biggest disadvantages that the company might face is that it would force the company to have two separate cost systems. Here is why. ABC is not a GAAP, which is generally accepted accounting standard. The ABC method should not be used to prepare financial statements. The company cannot use activity-based costing to calculate COGS or ending inventory. The company will have to go back to the traditional methods such as job process order and so on. Imagine the cost of doing both separate cost systems. Next, it is time-consuming for the company to have to interview all the employees. Alright, think about the whole idea behind ABC is that we are getting a better information, better data and cause and effects, also the relationship between different cost drivers. So we need to go to people and ask them, such as how many hours you spend on activities. It is going to take a lot of time. For example, if the company only have 10 employees, maybe it is not a big deal. But what if the company have more than 20,000 employees? It's going to be hard for them. For the third one is accuracy. Another problem pertaining to interviewing the people is when you interview the people. Let's say there are 3 different activities which are X, Y, and Z that the employee is going to do. Then you ask the employees how much of your time you spend on these activities. Then they say that they spend 20% on X, 30% on Y, and 50% on Z. So the sum up of that is 100%. What's the issue with that? Do people really spend 100% of their time working? No. They will have to go to the bathroom or they take a break or something like that. That is idle time. But when they are having the interview, people are not going to say that they spend only 50% of their time working. Therefore, the employees may overstate the amount of time they spend on the activities. Next, we go to limitation of activity-based costing. Activity-based costing also could have variety of limitation. The real power of ABM is come from the knowledge and information that leads to better decision. Also, the leverage that will come to a better improvement. So, it is crucial for the managers to have a better knowledge on ABM in organization's performance and reputation. To understand this technique, it could be a burden to the employees. So, to accept the change will be hard for them since it is unusual and new in the organization. That will cause resistance to change in the firm. Another limitation could be the lack of support from the higher level management. During the planning phase, there is several problems that can affect the implementation, including lack of senior management buy-in and commitment. Lack of support can occur when the implementation takes too long and the expected products not become the reality. Lastly is the failure to integrate the new system. The probability of success will increase if ABM system is not in competition with other improvement programs. It is probable to find competitors who are using or experimenting with the approach and train the employees on how the ABM will approach. Next, we will go to the example of a company that uses activity-based management. Coca-Cola determines the price of its product based on the number of activities undertaken in the process of manufacturing such products. They also budget their costs. Alright guys, now let's go to the example of company that using activity-based costing. Coca-Cola determines the price of its product based on the number of activities undertaken in the process of manufacturing such products. They also budget their costs based on the number of activities involved by using activity-based costing method. From this method, they had applied activity-based management to cut off or reduce the non-value-added costs. So now, let's recap a bit. There are 3 steps of ABM. First, identify activity required to complete the products. Since we chose Coca-Cola, here are the sample of companies' production activities. There are ingredient delivery, washing and rinsing, mixing and blending, bottling or filling, capping, labeling, coding, inspection, packaging, warehousing, and lastly, delivering. Next, we go to the second step, which is determine whether the activity are value-added or non-value-added. In this case, we chose 4 sample activities. The first activity that we chose is bottling activity. Coca-Cola produced its product using their own machine. The cost driver for this activity is machine hours. This activity is considered as value-added as it will bring benefit to the customers. The second activity is packaging. The cost driver is number of bottles as Coca-Cola pack their products based on quantity. This activity is also considered as value-added as this activity is essential to the customers. Next, inspection activity. The cost driver is inspection hours. It is considered as value-added as it will bring no benefit to the customers. Lastly, warehousing activity. The cost driver of this activity is number of goods stored. It is also considered as value-added as non-value-added as it will bring no benefit to the customers. The third step is making decision on how to improve the activities. The decisions are also shown in this table. For the bottling activity, this activity can be improved by increasing the move to produce many bottles at one time. This can increase the production units. Next, for packaging activity, Coca-Cola may use cheaper material for packaging their products and sell in larger quantity to improve the profit margin. Next, for inspection activity. The activity can be reduced or eliminated since it could not benefit to the customers. Coca-Cola can use a high technology machine to avoid any defect on the product to replace the activity. And also, they can use a good quality ingredient to ensure their products have a high quality. For the last one is warehousing. This activity could not contribute the benefit to the customer. If Coca-Cola keep their products for a long time, the products will expire and the customer won't buy it. Thus, this warehousing can be reduced if Coca-Cola can increase their sales units of finished goods. And we have come to a conclusion that activity-based management helps company to determine its strength or weaknesses by determining the value-added or non-value-added activities, while activity-based management helps the company to assign indirect costs to specific goods and services, for example, office supplies, rent, utilities, overhead costs, and admin expenses. And lastly, activity-based management is very important in a business as it uses the ABC information to improve business processes and then sustain the improvement. First, by enabling management to focus on doing the right things. And second, by providing an approach to doing them right. We would like to thank to all of you who are listening to the video since the beginning until the end. If you understand this video, we hope that you can give us a thumbs up on below and share our videos to your friends. Have a good day!